Chapter 16 to 20. End. 16. The police. There was a knock at the door. Come in. The door is open, Hector said. I want to show you something, sir. Hannah came inside in a rush, with the laptop in hand. She continued. Look at this data, sir. The KARAM thing is getting viral. Everyone in the area is doing crimes under the KARAM umbrella. This stuff is getting huge after Korea's video, and now the other girls are making these types of videos too. Who are these girls? Are these videos fake? Hannah asked, with confusion. These are the same girls who reported about KARAM, Hector replied with a straight face. If there is any real KARAM, believe me, sir, now it would be impossible to track the real one, Hannah said. So what do you think of this then? Should we go public with this? We can't ignore this anymore, Hector asked her. Hannah thought for a moment. I don't know, but I have an idea. Let's keep this thing a secret until we find out the truth. What? Hector asked, looking at her, curious. We should ask the girls to come here tomorrow morning. They will tell us if they were tricked or not. Hannah said, writing something in the notepad. But how will we get them to come here? Hector asked, still confused. Sir, that's where my idea comes into play. We call them for routine investigation but don't tell them about this KARAM thing happening. Let's see how it goes, Hannah replied, with a grin on her face. The next day, everyone gathered in the meeting room. The girls were sitting in a circle, looking nervous. Hannah and Hector were standing in front of them. Girls, thank you for coming here today. You guys are really brave to come forward like this. Now, I am going to explain to you what happened yesterday. If anyone has anything else to say, please speak up. If not, I'll begin with the story, Hannah said. Hannah continued. There was a video going viral about KARAM, that you guys posted a few days back. Now there is this news that local gangs are doing different sorts of crime behind the name of this KARAM. If there is actually a KARAM, you guys are going to help our team to catch him, and if you guys made up any story about this KARAM thing to get views and fame, believe me, you guys are going to regret this. It was my mistake. If I hadn't made the video in the first place, nothing would have happened, Korea said, looking down at the floor, ashamed of what she had done. I know that making that video was a mistake, but everything in the video was true. I didn't lie, Korea said, looking towards Hannah, tears dropping from her eyes. Are you okay? I didn't mean to scare you, Hannah asked. She walked towards Korea, and held her hands up in front of Korea's face. I know that what you have done is really stupid, but it's okay, Hannah said, and then she walked towards the other girls who were looking at them talking. Hector was standing in front of them, quietly listening to them like he was observing them, trying to find something hidden in their silence. What about you guys? Why did you upload the video? Is this a publicity stunt or? Hannah asked them. We did it because KARAM made us do that, and if we don't do what he says, we get an electric shock. We don't want this video to go viral, Pamela said on behalf of Olama and Eden. We don't want that video to be spread anymore. It was wrong what we did, and we apologize, Korea said. She looked up at Hannah, trying to catch her eye. I want this KARAM. Dead or alive, Hector finally spoke. 17. The suicide. Korea felt so guilty after she came back from the police station. She was ashamed of making that exposed video. She accidentally gave KARAM a chance to disguise himself. Other girls don't talk to her anymore. Everyone thought that she was involved with KARAM. Korea herself thought that she is an evil person, and everything that happened was just because of her stupid mistake. Korea is so embarrassed. She could only hide under her bed now, trying not to be seen by anyone. She exposes KARAM because she always hated him. Her stupid mistake is still hurting her. Even her best friend Matilda has avoided talking to her since. She is trying her best to get out of the mess she is now in. Korea is very upset and confused by all the things that happened. Her fears were proved true. She unexpectedly got involved with the people who were doing crimes all around the city. Criminals are taking advantage of Korea's video. As a result, she can never run away from this reality. She now understands what her life would have been like without her friends. She can never forget what happened. She is scared of going outside alone. She doesn't know how to deal with the situation she is in right now. She wants to tell her parents about it, but she knows they won't believe her. She has no choice but to face the consequences. Korea. Are you okay? Korea saw a text message from Matilda. Her heart suddenly stops beating for a moment when she hears her name being called by her only best friend. Korea wanted to reply, but her mind and body didn't allow it. She dropped the phone on the bed and walked outside the room. She is afraid to face anyone, afraid to talk to anyone. She thought that if she goes close to anyone, something bad could happen. She felt so alone for the first time in her life. Korea walked away from her room and went out to the balcony. The air is so fresh and cool. She wanted to get out, somewhere unknown. It's impossible for her to walk back into the room when Matilda has messaged her. She walked onto the balcony and took some deep breaths. She was trying to concentrate on her own thoughts and didn't want to pay attention to the loud street noises. She wanted to end everything, and she did. She can't handle the pain anymore. These moments are so difficult for her. Korea, with a heavy heart, jumps right off her balcony. Her body lay lifeless on the main road of the Lime Street. The next day morning there was news all around Boston. Korea's suicide was considered to be a murder, and the blame was on KARAM, but nobody knows how he did that. There is still a 50% chance that people might think that Korea took her own life. On news, her sister and mother continuously blame KARAM for her murder. KARAM is a man who is well known in Boston for his mysterious ways. He has never been caught or identified by any of the police. People have started calling him the ghost of Lime Street. A few kilometers away from where Korea was found dead, KARAM was in his room, sitting on the couch, watching the news. She saw that one of her bullies, Sapphira, had died. He never wanted to kill anybody, his only mission was to teach them a lesson. KARAM called Maid Ryan. Things are getting out of control. Find a way to stop this mess. Okay sir, I will do something, Maid Ryan said from the other end. 18. The after effects of suicide. All 7 of them were sitting in a park near Korea's house, staring at their ring and discussing how Korea had died. Most of them believed that her death was a suicide. Mary, Eden, and Olama thought that KARAM might have killed her. He must be taking revenge. Sapphira took her own life. So he might have created a situation for her, so she took her own life. Eden said, some weird stuff is going on in her mind, and her assumptions are thought to be correct by everyone else. I think it was a suicide, I don't know why but I feel like it was a suicide, Pamela said. Her words were like a bullet into the hearts of everyone around her. I think Pamela is right. Eden might be correct as well because in both cases her death was considered to be a suicide. Josie spoke in a low voice. Olama and Mary both looked at each other. They knew that Pamela had been right about something before. They didn't want to believe what she was saying now. But they could not deny the truth. Whatever, Pam. It's definitely KARAM. It is his plan and he wants to take revenge on us all. It is definitely a murder, Eden said. Everyone somehow agreed with Eden, but Pamela and Josie, didn't agree with her. No, Eden, you're wrong. KARAM did not kill her. He was not scared of doing anything in front of us. If he wanted to kill her then he would have done it in front of us all. You might be right in a way that he is somehow involved in the cause of her death, but still, it is a suicide, not a murder, Pamela said, looking Eden in her eyes. As soon as Eden tried to speak for herself, someone from behind said, hey girls. Everyone looked at him. I am Adam. I can help you with your issue. I am sorry but I listened to what you guys are talking about, he said, smiling. Ooh, so Mr. Adam. How would you help us, and why would you do that? Do you know us? Mary asked him, looking at her suspiciously. I am a private detective. I am working on Korea's case, secretly. I can help you guys find this Karam guy, the real one. When I find him, you can ask him if Korea took her own life or if he killed her. You guys have to tell me everything that happened with you guys. Adam replied to her question. How will we trust you? And why should we trust you? Why should we tell you everything that happened to us? We don't even know who you are. You might be a murderer yourself, Eden said, squinting her eyes. That's not true, I am not a murderer. You guys can come to my place tomorrow morning and meet me. Then you can decide whether to trust me or not. But I promise you, that I will help you guys in finding Karam, Adam said, and gave her a card with his name, number, and address. Around 4 p.m., all 7 of them reached the given address on the card. They were presented with the drinks by Adam's maid. They all became relaxed and comfortable with him, and soon they started talking like they all knew each other very well. So you girls, have you decided to trust me or not? Adam asked them when they were finished with the drinks and other small talk. Yes, we will trust you, but first let us tell you everything that has happened between us and Karam. We will also tell you about Sapphira. She was the main person in all this mess, Eden said, looking at him. Adam coughed as he heard Sapphira's name. Who is she? Sapphira. She was Karam's wife. They both loved each other too much. Sapphira killed herself, Libby replied. Oh, I see. That's sad. So why did she kill herself? Did she die because of Karam? Adam asked. All the girls felt ashamed of telling him that they all were the reason for Sapphira's suicide. No, she killed herself because of us, Eden finally spoke up, looking away from Adam. We bullied her a lot. We always make fun of her in front of her kindergarten students, and her few friends. Adam nodded, understanding what Eden meant. We were always fighting with her. I remember, once I got angry with someone, and punched her in the face. I left her there bleeding and crying. Adam looked at Eden, he could see tears in her eyes. We were the reason for her death. I am really sorry for her death. Everyone looked at Eden. 19. The end of him. April 8, 2019, Monday. We have to end this game. You won't have to face Karam's tortures anymore, Adam said. The girls and Adam were sitting near the Earl of Sandwich, discussing the security measures they should take to be safe from the attack. It is useless. We tried many things, he is always a step ahead of us, Mary said, holding an apple in one hand and a sandwich roll in another. What if we create some sort of diversion? What if we distract him? He might get caught up with that and leave us alone for some time. Jocelyn gave an idea. Everyone laughed. You think Karam would fall for that? Pamela said, smiling. Adam was listening to their conversation when suddenly feel that someone was spying on them. I am going to the washroom, Eden said. She stood up and walked towards the backside of Earl of Sandwich. I have to call someone. You guys sit here and wait. Adam walked a few meters away from the girls. He reached for his phone, opened it, and dialed a number. It rang for some time before he heard a voice. Hello. It was Officer Hector on the other side. Adam called the police because he saw a man in black jacket walking towards the back of Earl of Sandwich. The man was definitely behind Eden. Hector. I need you to do something for me. Please come to the back of Earl of Sandwich, Adam said, his voice shaking. Officer Hector arrived at the place within minutes. He took out his gun and walked towards the backside of the place. Don't move. You are under arrest, Officer Hector shouts, with his gun pointed toward the black jacket man. The man in the back jacket ran towards the Parkman bandstand. It's easier for him to hide somewhere in the dark. The rain had started, and it was making the ground look like a lake, which was creating difficulties for him to run. As he reached closer to the bandstand, Officer Hector shouted, "Stop it, or I'll shoot." Rain is also creating difficulty for him to listen to the clear sound of what Officer Hector was saying. Officer had shot the bullet, and it hit the black jacket man in the middle of the skull from the back. He fell down on his face, motionless, and the blood was getting washed away in the rain. Officer Hector called the police jeep to take away the body. Eden got curious, and she went closer to the body. "Your game is over," she whispered. She tried to check his identity, but Officer Hector said, "Don't touch the body." "I just want to see his face and ID card," Eden asked politely. Officer turned the body over and took out his wallet to show the ID to the girl. "Kevin Anderson." Eden read aloud his name. Every one of them came close to the body to see the face of evil, which haunted them for years. 20. Epilogue for girls. Everything is over now. Karam is no more around them to torture them, no more tasks, no more shocks. They were freed, but now, getting back to normal life is too difficult for them. Deep inside they still think that someday, from somewhere, Karam will be back for them, and he will keep on coming back until they are all finished, like Korea. The days pass by slowly, and the girls get used to their new lives, but even after 2 months have passed since Karam's death, there is not even a single day when they do not fear something. They do not feel safe anywhere. It does not matter if they are in their homes or outside. They do not trust life anymore since the second meet and greet when the ring incident happened. If someone comes close to them, they feel uneasy. The moment they see a man with a hoodie approach them, they panic and try to run away. They try to stay away from men as much as possible because if they get involved with one of them, they would end up being tortured again. Even though the girls have started living their lives normally, there is a strange feeling inside them that they cannot ignore. It feels like something bad will happen at any time, and it might be very soon. The thought of Karam still haunts them whenever they look at their ring. The ring does not work anymore, but it is stuck on their finger like a tattoo. It became a part of their skin. Whenever they want to take it off, it hurts. They do not know how to remove it, so they just live with it. But they never forget what happened during the second meet and greet. Even though the ring is broken, they still remember every single detail about it, especially about the man who came in. Whenever they recall those moments, they start trembling. Their hearts race, their breaths become short, and they feel cold. Karam was dead, but he is still somewhere in their mind. "It's been 4 months since Karam died," said Mary. She was sitting beside Olama, who was also staring at the ring on her hand. "I am going crazy," she exclaimed. "Why can't I get rid of this thing?" Mary looked at her and frowned. "How could you say that? It is not working anymore, so why are you worried?" "Because I want to get rid of it. It is driving me insane," said Olama. "If we ever go anywhere, I feel like everyone is looking at my hand," Olama said. "You are making too much fuss about it," said Mary. "I am not making a fuss, it is bothering me a lot." Olama took a long breath. "What if it starts working again?" Olama asked. Mary smiled. "Stop it. It won't work anymore." The next day morning when Eden woke up, she got a message on her phone. "The game is not over yet." Eden shouts, and she gets a shock from the ring. Karam is still alive.